this is the way. Alrighty. Got some electronics to control. In this issue, we're going to install the motor driver, and I think we're getting pretty close of finishing the dome. Alright, let's get the parts out. That seems to be a motor cover. And now we get to the interesting bit, the motor controller. We'll have a look at that in a sec. We've got screws, so let's get our little lid so we won't lose our screws. Hopefully we'll get some spares. We need 3 and we have 3. Okay. And the last bit today, it's all focused about this little controller board. Let's see, we've got a couple of transistors here. It's a J3Y and a 2TY. And let's have a look at these 2 chips. They seem to be generic motor controllers. And I know it's very hard to see on camera. There's not a lot of light. But I can spot the markings L9110. Interesting. Let's quickly look these up and do a little drawing. I'll be right back. The 2 chips here are just very simple generic DC single H-bridge motor drivers, and I've drawn a typical applications of these. So you basically have got 2 pins that you link to your microcontroller. I just added 2 pull-up because they're active high, and we've got a motor, and that's basically it. We've got a couple of VCC pins, a couple of ground pins, and by just controlling these 2 pins you can basically let the motor turn left, right, idle or stop. It's probably a brake option in there as well. And the other 2 parts we could find are 2 transistors. I've just drawn them out for you guys, an NPN and a PNP. So they're just 2 jelly bean transistors, and I've given you the pinouts here as well if you're interested. And at the back we can see test pins. They're used during fabrications to actually test if there are any issues. So each of these connectors have been broken out, and these extra pins could probably be programming pins for this microcontroller. Now I couldn't find any information on the microcontroller because they actually rubbed off all the markings. Now there is a way of making them visible, but I didn't want to go through all that effort because in the end I'm not even sure if we're going to use this board or make our own. But hey, if it's working, it's working. But for now, it's part of the installation. And see what we can see. Now this should be very straightforward. See this page? Just 2 holes, 2 pins. So you should just be able to place it. It doesn't snap in place. Okay. I was hoping it would have some sort of support, but it doesn't. It's a missed opportunity. The reason why I mean that, yes, we can mount them, but if you push in the connectors and there is no support underneath, you could damage the board. Can't really see what I'm doing. Got not enough light. Let's try this again. Let's line this up from the top, and there we go. It's actually my own hand casting a shadow. Well, that's pretty straightforward. So these 2 screws fasten that PCB, and let's screw it in carefully. Now the only thing we need to do is connect these cables. Seem to have 2 leftover parts, so I assume this would be a mount or cover for another motor for another issue. I don't know why they've given it to us now, but anyways, doesn't matter. Let's have a quick look how to connect this. Okay, we've got a nice zoomed in picture. So by the looks of it, these 2 smaller connectors are for the lights, the left eye and the right eye. Now be aware, this thing is flipped, so this is the left side, so I assume this must go to the left. And again, these connectors are keyed, although it's a light, it don't really matters, to be honest. Not sure. I think the pins are on the top of the connector, so I just got to line it up just right, and there we go. Push it in. There's two types of sound you can hear. So I had a snap or crack, and we want to hear a snap. Alright, that seems okay. Now if you have a quick look on the bottom, you can see the two pins are slightly more to the top. And if we look at the connectors, it's the same, so there is a right and wrong orientation. Just be careful when you put it in. And remember, the dome is upside down, so left is right and right is left. And now for the motor, the bigger cable is the motor. And this one is easy. It's clearly keyed, so there's no way of putting it in the wrong way. There we go. And then the last thing that is left is the PCB for the LCD. And again, this one is keyed, but just be careful because it is easy to make a mistake. And I think, to quote the Mandalorian, this is the way. Alrighty. Okay, I think that's it. See, Paige, now it finally gets a bit more interesting. We've got some electronics to control. So I assume in the next issue we're going to finish adding the last motor, and then we should be ready with the dome. Alrighty, see you next time.
See everybody.